Hey guys, at the beginning of this video, I want to acknowledge that this is a hard topic to discuss about. This is a topic that you shouldn't take the advice from just one person. The things that I'm going to talk about are my own experience, and this is not a medical advice or anything similar to that. This is just my view, my human experience, and I'm going to try to share it with you in hope to help somebody. Things that you do have consequences, so be thoughtful about what you do in your life. I tried to summarize it at the beginning of the recording, but I didn't get to do that. I didn't express myself clearly, so here it is, post-editing. I hope you don't mind it. Let's begin with the video.
Let's start with this. This morning I heard that Reckful, sadly, by at least on what the news reported, took his own life. And it's something very sad. When you're chasing something in life, when you're trying to accomplish a certain goal, the chase can get really intense, and you have to make sacrifices. You have to give all you have and all you got. If you do that, if you become successful, chances are life's going to get easier. But it's not going to get easier in a way that you all of a sudden don't have any problems. It's probably going to get easier that your tolerance for pain, for your tolerance for hard work is gonna be much higher. And when you get to that, other things in life that are not as challenging are going to become somewhat boring. But also, there's a thing where you think about and dream about all the things that you want to do and be and become and achieve in your life. And once you achieve them, you get to a point where you ask yourself, okay, what's left? I achieved this, that. I didn't have any other things planned on the list. Where should I go? Since I'm also into games and I've been into games for a good part of my life, I know that when you turn cheats on and when you achieve everything that you can achieve in a game, the game suddenly isn't interesting anymore because you have everything. You're not striving to achieve something else. You start to lose any kind of goals that you've had. I mean, they're all achieved. You don't have anymore. When it comes to games, they're hard-coded. You can't change that, so you leave the game. But what happens with life? Life isn't meant to be left like that. I don't believe it is. And I see that people struggle, and I can't say that I've been through depression and that I can tell you what depression feels like. But I've lived through very intense, sad emotions throughout my life. And I've been in those situations where it's easier. I don't want to say this in a wrong way, but in those kind of situations, it is very hard for anybody to understand you. And that's when you feel the loneliest, and that's when you feel the worst, I guess. But there's a saying or a quote, depending on how you want to look at it, which goes something like, you are born alone and you will die alone. And we should affirm and confirm that being alone is a part of life. Having lonely experiences, which I mentioned before, experiences that nobody else in that moment can understand. And nobody else can really help you directly. They can comfort you, they can be there for you, but nobody else can really help you go through it and beat it. Those experiences, they are a lonely experience. And I don't know if us living in an age where you can share anything, where you can set up your phone and record yourself rambling on and talking about things from your life, from your experiences, and sharing everything in an instance. I don't know if that changed us. I don't know what kind of impact this has. But we might be forgetting that sometimes it's absolutely fine to be alone, to want to be alone. But we should also have love for ourselves and love for that loneliness, because everything within life is about balance. If you don't love yourself at all, you're going to hurt yourself. If you love yourself too much, you're going to be narcissistic. But if you understand yourself and love yourself just the right amount, and also hate the bad things about you just the right amount, you're going to be probably self-correcting through life. And you're going to be analyzing yourself. And even if success comes, you're going to be aware that you're not perfect. You're going to be aware of what you do exquisitely well. But it's very, very important that you don't lose one side of that balance. Lives that we live could be visualized as just, what's the word for Pascal? Seesaws. Just imagine having seesaws, and the whole point of life is to have them, as many of them, balanced as you can. And imagine them being in a circle. I might even draw some illustration for this point. But imagine them being in a circle, and all of them they're all independent, and they go like the seesaws go their own way, however much force or weight you put onto each end. And it's just an act of balancing your life. Incredible highs in life can be very, very attractive and something you strive for. I suggest you don't go for them. Or if you go for them, and if you want to experience such massive changes in your life, that you try to downplay them as much as you can. Because I believe that any kind of imbalance that comes too fast in your life is going to end up causing like a proportional sadness in your life. So if you have a very big high or a very intense high and low in your life, whatever happens, whatever the occasion is, you're probably going to have that drop down soon enough, and then even go into a low, just because you still clearly remember how good of a high the previous experience was. So balance is the name of the game. Play it, and hopefully you can learn from life and improve gradually and reevaluate yourself every day. I try to do it. I don't succeed every time, but it's not about success. In the end, it's not about what you achieve. It's about what you try. It's about the process you go through. It's about also getting results, but results come in many shapes and sizes and packages. Sometimes you lose all your money. Sometimes you get scammed. Sometimes like everything seems to be falling apart. But that experience that you went through, that knowledge that you now have, it's invaluable. It can't be appraised. You can't put a price on that. I've been recording for 20 minutes. I need to end this, and yeah, I hope I talk about this again. But what I wanted to say and the points that I want to really drive home are the first point. Whether you want to admit it or not, you're never alone. And especially in this day and age. But the second point, nothing will last forever. Not me, not you, nothing. No experiences that we have in our life are going to last forever. The third point, even when you go through an experience that is very isolating and that you think nobody understands you, that's perfectly fine. You must find a way, or you must continue on because of these 2 points previously. Life is too precious to be stopped by our own hands. The fourth point, the highs and lows. We've established that they're temporary, that they can affect each other. If you go through a very low low, just as we said, if you go through a very high high, because of that experience, when it passes, you're gonna tend to be a bit happier if you remember, oh, how bad it was just a couple of days before, or a couple of months before, or a year before, depending on how extreme your emotions were. So keep balance. Don't go through extremes. Try to downplay the things. I'm not saying hide your emotions. I'm just saying try to explain to yourself how all of this is not as great or not as bad as people would think. I think that sums up this pretty nicely, and I hope that fewer people, um, I hope that fewer people go through the experiences they just cannot handle and are not ready for. And I hope that we all continue on to live healthier lives. I didn't mention Reckful too many times in this video. I think I only mentioned it once besides this here, and it is because I don't want to use his death as my promotion. I'm just saying, look at that example. Most of the people that I see are struggling and working every day to get to the point and to get to the things that, just material things that Reckful has had. They're trying to get to that popularity. They're trying to get to that exact point before his death. Just try to understand, Reckful was not a dumb guy. He wasn't someone who just got lucky all the time. He was a guy who worked for it every day in, day out. But do understand that that kind of work is on the extreme. And when you go through the extreme, when you go through such an extreme, and you believe that it was extreme, and you believe that it was something that few people can even understand, you're isolating yourself. And think, and really do think, do you want to be that number one? Do you want to be on the top? Do you want to be alone like that? Be careful what you wish for, and Reckful, rest in peace, man. I respected the guy. I'm sad to see him gone like things played out. That's it for this one. I know it's been a long one. I know I've never done this like in a vlog style. Well, not for this long, but I hope the footage will be useful. I mean, I hope I can use the footage. I hope I didn't waste 25 minutes of my life. Thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something. See you in the next one. Bye.